Hi, it's me again, Arlene from the Worcester branch of the Wayne County Public Library, and today I'm going to talk to you about a backyard craft that you can do now so that you can enjoy it this winter. So what I'm going to talk about is a moss terrarium. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been spending a lot of time recently in my backyard, and I had noticed that because of all the shade we have back here, we have a lot of different types of moss growing. And I just became fascinated by it and thought it was so beautiful, and I thought, wonder how I could take some of that inside so that I could enjoy it this winter when it's dark and gloomy and cold. So that's when I decided I wanted to try and make a moss terrarium. So what you'll need for this moss terrarium, like all of this stuff I already had at my house. So it was super easy. I didn't have to go to the store or anything. So the first thing you need is a jar. Now this jar here is a pickle jar that we emptied. I cleaned it off, took the label off, and it's nice and tall, wide, so you can just use a jar, recycle a jar that you're going to get rid of. So that you need a jar. You need some stones for the bottom. Now these were just some stones that we had. I guess they're landscaping stones, I'm not even sure. So yeah, just look around. You might have some terrarium stones or something, or just go to the creek and pick up some stones. So you'll need some stones. You'll need a little bit of soil. You will need activated charcoal. Well, actually you don't need it. You can do this without the activated charcoal. The activated charcoal, you just sprinkle a little bit in, and it helps take the toxins out of the air in the terrarium, and like as things start to degrade, you know, like stuff starts to just degrade, it keeps it from smelling, so you won't have to air it out. You can do it without the activated charcoal, but you may have to open the terrarium now and then and let it air out because it might start to smell. So you'll need that. And then these are just little bits of moss that I found in my backyard. We have quite a bit growing in our backyard, so personally, I don't dig up any moss, but you know, as you walk over things break off. So when I would see a little bit of moss just laying there kind of lonely, I would pick it up and take it in, put it in a jar, put a little moisture in it, and see how it would, you know, try and bring it back to life. So those are just some little bits of moss that I found in our backyard. And then you also need, did I mention the soil? I forgot to mention. I don't know if I mentioned, we need soil, and then you need a spray bottle with water. This is just water because you're going to just spritz it when you're all done to make sure there's moisture in your terrarium. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the stones in the bottom of the jar. So the nice thing about this jar, once I get the stones in there, is it's a big enough pickle jar that I can get my hand in there and move things around. So that'll be nice. So just kind of make a layer of stones. All right. Now, as you're building your terrarium, you really only want to build up about 1/3 of the way up the jar. That will give the terrarium plenty of room and air, because it does require a certain amount of air. So we've got the layer of stones, and now we're just going to sprinkle a tiny bit of the activated charcoal onto the stones, and just sprinkle, just a sprinkle. Sometimes my activated charcoal came in a container like this, loose. Sometimes it comes in capsules. Doesn't matter, you can open a capsule and just sprinkle it in there. So we've got that. Now we're going to put a thin layer of soil. I'm just going to use my spoon and just kind of sprinkle the soil on. And spread it around. Just a little bit is all you want. Because if you think about it, if you notice the moss, it grows in barely anything, so it doesn't require much. Okay, so I'm going to add some bigger stones on top for a little added, you know, just look of it, make it look nice. You could add, oh my goodness, all kinds of things. You could put a little plastic toy in there if you wanted to. I'm just going to put these stones around the edge. I think this would be a good craft to do with your kids if you wanted to. And then, like I said, in the winter time, you'll have a little bit of your backyard in the house. So you can talk about how much fun you had last summer. I'm going to spread these out a bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just take my little bit of moss. Actually, I'm going to tear that in two, make it smaller. And I'm not going to totally fill it with the moss because I want to give it room to grow. And I actually have a couple different kinds here, so then I'm going to maybe take a little bit of these and put on the other side. Put this here. Maybe one more piece in there. Oh, we'll make it two. So there's lots going on in there. There's some stones, there's some moss. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to give it 2 sprays of water, and that should be enough. So what I'll do is I'll take this in the house, put it in my front window, which faces south, so it'll get nice sun all winter long. And then hopefully this winter, when it's cold and dreary, I'll be able to open my little terrarium jar and look in there and see some moss from the summer and remember all the fun I had in the backyard. So yeah, if you want to give it a try, let me, if you want to post on Facebook, let me know if you tried it. Send us pictures of your terrariums. That would be great. And I'll post some pictures of mine as it grows, so we can keep up to date on our terrariums. So thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.